Hi guys, I want to show you something. The other day I was cleaning. Oh yeah, I had to clean eventually and rearrange things and stuff because my wife and kid were finally able to come back here. So back together. So I had to rearrange things and clean up, and in the process I found something really interesting. I found two old lenses, very old, or I should say vintage. Yeah, let's say vintage. It's a more suitable term. And one is a 135mm 3.5 Pentax, and the other, which I'm going to show to you today, it's a 50mm F1.7. Let's go inside and I'm going to show it to you. What's up guys, Dan Frullani here and welcome back to another video. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing, and since you're there, just hit the like button. Okay, so let's jump immediately into the topic of today's video, which is a vintage lens. It's the Pentax 50mm f1.7. So when did I get this lens? Well, it was actually my father's. He was very passionate about photography and he owned multiple cameras back in the 80s and 90s. And we're talking about like film cameras with actual film, old-fashioned style. But at the time it wasn't old-fashioned, I guess that's just what it was. Anyway, I knew I had this lens among my things, my stuff, but I couldn't find it. Well, maybe because I wasn't actually looking for it. As I told you the other day, while I was cleaning up and rearranging things, because my wife and kid, who were stuck in another country, were eventually able to come back, and that makes me really happy. But it also gave me the opportunity to find this lens. Being a very old lens, but in very good conditions, it doesn't have autofocus. Actually, it doesn't have anything. It's all manual, 100% manual. I'm gonna try it right away with the M50 and with the 90D. Let's start with the M50. I got an adapter that allows me to put it on the M50. Here you go. I found the adapter for like 15 bucks, very cheap. Let's try to see if it fits the speed booster. If this is like 1.7 with a speed booster, wow, it would be like F1. Let's see. Here's the speed booster. Let's try to see. Nope. Nope, it doesn't fit. It cannot be used with the M50 and the speed booster. It's a shame. But okay, let's just put it with the regular adapter on the Canon M50 right now. So this is a aperture 1.7, wide open. Could be better if you have someone there to help you, to put you in focus. It's gonna be much easier. If you shoot behind the camera, it will be much easier. But by the way, this is what it looks like with the Canon M50 and regular Viltrox adapter. You can check the links in the description. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. I'm actually using two adapters. One is to adapt the Pentax to the EF mount, and the other to adapt the EF to the EM of the M50.
Make this life thing harder than it needs to be. So many lights with us tonight, night. Don't let them go to waste. Look into my eyes. It's gonna be right. Tomorrow's gonna be okay. One moment, one shot. That's all we got. One moment, one shot.
So what do you think about it? It's a manual lens, so it's kind of difficult, also because of the aperture 1.7, which makes the depth of field a kind of narrow. It makes it kind of difficult to manually focus, especially if you're a solo shooter like me. So as long as you are behind the camera, it's alright, you can manage, like especially for B-roll, like when you shoot a B-roll, for example, with it, it's not any different from shooting with the Nifty 50, because if you shoot 120 frames per second, you lose the autofocus. So it's kind of like the same, just it's more complicated when you want to frame yourself like this in an interview shot, and you have to find a way, you have to walk around this thing of not having autofocus. So it's a lot of trial and error. So now let's see what it looks like on the Canon 90D. This is the Pentax 50mm 1.7 100% manual with the Canon 90D. Like, let me know in the comments down below if it looks good, if it doesn't, if it looks better or worse than with the Canon M50. And since you're there, hit the like button and subscribe if you aren't already.
To waste. Look into my eyes, it's gonna be right. Tomorrow's gonna be okay. One moment, one shot. Oh, that's all we got.
So tell me what you think about it. Write it down in the comments down below and hit the like button now. If you're not subscribed, do it now. It doesn't cost you anything. So what you have seen was shot with this Pentax lens from the late 80s, early 90s, I guess. And you can find them on eBay or Amazon, and they're very, very cheap for like 25 bucks or 30 bucks or something like that. It's really, really cheap. And also you can get an adapter for like 15 bucks. It's really, really cheap. I'm not sure you can find it on Amazon. If I manage to find it on Amazon, I'll get a link and I'll put it there in the links down below. So check them out. So you can see all the things I use, my gear, and you can get an idea of the prices and availability and everything. So who might want to get this lens? Well, as I said, it gives the footage a particular look. In my opinion, kind of cinematic, like really vintage. The price, as I said, is very appealing. It's not bad at all, and if you're not into manual focusing, well, you can use it for B-roll and for time lapses and these things, and it's fine. Of course, not for vlogging. First of all, because of the focal length, the 50mm, you already know it's not usable like for walking around while holding the Jobby Gorilla Pod. You would see only the tip of your nose or something like that. I mean, this lens is definitely something that if you happen to bump into one, I would get it if I were you. As I said, I also found another very interesting lens in its original case, really fancy. Also, this is a Pentax. It's a 135mm f3.5, which is pretty fast for a tele lens. But I'm gonna talk about this in a different video. I wanted to show you this because even if you own a Nifty 50 and you have a whole bunch of new lenses, sometimes you may find very interesting the way these vintage lenses look for both photos and videos. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Smash the like button if you did. Subscribe if you aren't already. And I will see you guys in the next video.